Hello and welcome to KamenRider Blackman. This was a second option to do. As well, coming off of my top 10 Sentai Red Rangers list, I am now doing another one. If you are reading the title below me on YouTube or taking a guess at what color I'm doing now, well, by looking at my wall or so, today, or at least right now, a couple of hours after my Reds list, which as of recording this, I am doing the top 10 Blue Rangers in Sentai. So I'm ready to go. I have a cup of water. And honestly, no honorable mentions. Why? Mainly because they're blue, and I'm surprised enough that I actually got 10. So, with that said, number 10, Mega Blue. Mega Blue's not a bad character. Like, everyone in Mega Ranger really has their own thing. Like, you have Black, who's the leader. You have Red, who's on my best list because he was really that spirit of the team. You have Yellow, who is more of... You have Yellow, who is the spot. You have Yellow, who is really the spot on one of the team. And it was pretty serious. And you have Pink, that was the heart of the team. But Blue, what I would say, in my opinion, was the realest among the 5 of them. Not to mention that he was the team strategist as well. And the best example I could think of from that would be the Neji Ranger arc, when he had his focus episode against Neji Blue. That was actually a pretty good episode and actually pretty genius plan. But with Mega Blue alone, he's not bad. He's another example of what the Mega Rangers were, like having their own hopes and dreams, and was a digital graphics artist, which makes sense to him because his, I guess, personal helmet crest was a television to which he can make illusions and whatnot. So, kudos there. Next, number 9, Hyde, Gosei Blue. Honestly, Hyde I'm actually fine to have on this list because this is a character that towards the end of Goseiger, I actually liked him. He was like probably my first or second favorite. It's between him and Alita. Because on rewatch of Goseiger, I didn't like Hyde at first. I thought he was a sort of boring. But towards the end, he became my second favorite character. And if you've seen Goseiger, then you could try to understand why. He was boring, but he wasn't too boring. And he's actually pretty compassionate with his teammates and friends, or at least those who he considers friends. Not to mention his backstory alone he actually lost his own partner before the show even began, and as soon as he met the War Star Monster, who was technically responsible for his friend's death, all he wanted was revenge against him. And from there, he started growing onto me. He started growing as a character there. But not just that, Hyde's also pretty funny in some, like, he has his moment, like, this is Hyde. He's the serious one. He's the oldest. He's quite logical. He also has his moments. He's compassionate. He also has his moments where he's pretty funny. Is he as close to a normal dude? No, but he's still just a fine and pretty good character. Like, he's the type of logical person that you would want on your team because he still keeps the heart. And so, number 8, Blue Buster. I have not seen a lot of Go Busters. I will say that now. But I like Ryuji. He's the older brother. He's that older brother figure for Yellow. And he's the sensible one out of the 3 of them. And not to mention he has super strength, and his weakness I think is the most dangerous one ever, and I'm totally here for it. That if he overheats, he turns into a flat out psycho. Like, I'm not kidding. The episode where I saw that, when it was the first time it happened, Ryuji straight up beat the hell out of a guy, then threw him into the air, took his sword, and stabbed this guy in his chest until he exploded. And he was a sadistic bastard about it. And oh my god, is my camera blurry? Ugh, god, is my camera really blurry? Oh, it went away. Jesus. Anywho, so next, number 7, Noba Haru. Yoi no Yusha, Kyoru Blue. Noba Haru is pretty fun. It's like, he's like, and honestly, he's a character in the show who actually had an arc. And because he has to juggle his superhero life along with his home life, with his family that consists of his sister and his niece, who he helps raise. And so seeing that with him, it just feels so real. Not to mention, he has super strength, one of my personal favorite superpowers. And not only that, I'll add that the fact that he has to juggle his superhero life and his family life together. Like, he's the only one where we really see that struggle with him. Like, it's something, like, it's not all kept together with the others. And I can believe that because we actually see his family, and we actually see him try. You actually see him try to be there for like everything and still protect them, as well as remember he's part of the Kyorugers and has his team to think about. And it's just, he's such a good co-parent. Like, he's such a good co-parent, and and whenever he gets a focus episode, it'll focus some aspect of that as well. And I just love that so much about Noba Haru. Not to mention his old man puns. Those old man puns are something else. Anywho, number 6, Decca Blue. Decca Blue is a dedicated cop. He's a pro sniper. He's the perfect antithesis of Bond, who is a good cop and loud and deals. So Hoji, he's a dedicated cop, a damn good sniper, and a calm, collected officer. And he's a perfect antithesis of Bond, who is a good cop, dual wields guns, and is loud as all hell. And so it's not so much, what I'm going on is not them just butting heads. It's just, with Hoji alone, it's just, he contributes just as well to his team as well as anyone else does. Not to mention he does have his own moments where his job, where he has to consider like something else over his job, because the first, or at least one episode of Decca Ranger that stands out with me is one episode where Hoji's old partner was the monster of the episode, who was after Doggy, And so the rest of the episode goes on with Hoji going against his old friend and having to bring him in. That it just feels so that alone, it just feels so heavy. It's just, oh my god. It felt so heavy. It's like, yeah, but right next to that, not to mention, I think I just realized this too. Hoji he really gets some heavy episodes where he shows how whether he has to sacrifice something in the name of being a cop or just to really show his stuff. But next, number 5, Gokai Blue. Joe. Joe. I'm not gonna lie right now. Like the first 6, 7, 8, 5. Oh yeah, the first 5 were a bit iffy for me when making this list, but the top 5 spot on because Joe is amazing. He is a dual swordsman, or in this case, a quintuple swordsman because of that one episode where he wielded 5 swords at once to beat one monster, as well as his rivalry with Barizorg, which is amazing. Like having to realize that your old having to see your old friend become one of the villains of the show by basically transforming into something completely different, and having it's just so haunting. Like it's just so haunting and he and I don't even know what to say. Just seeing him having to go through with it, just seeing him having to go through that, not knowing what to do about it, and once he learned that there's no way to change him back, he had to accept that, and if you can't save the person, you can at least save their soul. Which is why, in his arc with Barizorg, it's just so heart-touching, because he had to face and eventually deal with the fact that he had to deal with and resolve the fact that he's fighting his old friend and he has to save his soul if he can't physically save himself. Yeah, but still, Joe is such a stoic, spot on, and good character. I really gotta watch Gokaiger again. But next, number 4, Shinken Blue, Runosuke Ekanami. I'm not gonna lie, Runosuke is not my personal favorite character from Shinkenger, but he is a good blue. Because, like, besides the kabuki theater and somewhat kabuki humor, that's good, but with how he works, like, he wakes up early, he trains, whether it's sword fighting, or staying in shape, or hell, practicing kanji and whatnot, that's dedication. Not to mention, he's the one that comes up with the Megazord configurations in the show. And so, yeah, pretty well. Not bad, pretty well. Really didn't have a lot to say about Runosuke, except for he serves his purpose for his team. And so, next. Number 3, Time Blue, Ayase. Yeah, I have a lot more to say about him. his arc and attitude, or more or less his arc, the fact that he's literally living life to the fullest because he's dying of a disease. How the actual heck do you take that information and just go on with it? Because apparently he did, and he just ran with it the entire time. Once you learn that about his character, you sympathize with him a lot more, and you really want to see him make it. You really want to see him make it through the whole show. But besides that, ISA is still a good character, but because he had that sickness that he was fighting as well as the Londars, he had to really push it to literally live life to the fullest. That's why he's there, because he knows what he has. He knows he doesn't have a lot of time left, so screw it. I'm gonna live life to the fullest and bring down the bad guys. So, next, number 2, Go Blue, Nakade Tatsumi. He is the smart one of the team, as well as the inventor, because he's come up with his own inventions before, and he also created one of my personal favorite weapons from Go-Go 5. That's the Go Blaster, and it's a cool looking blaster. And its debut, that was awesome, where he was dual wielding guns with the Go Blaster and his sidearm together to beat monsters, and also shoot out salamanders. That's sweet. But yeah, Gokai Blue. I mean, no, not Gokai Blue. Go Blue from Go-Go 5. Nakade. He is the second oldest, so which technically makes him. That would technically make him second in command. He is also the inventor of the group. Not to mention, he was also a fireman as well as Red. He works in the extinguisher team. That's what he worked on. But yeah, he really takes a lot after his dad in terms of being an inventor as well as a scientist, or more or less an inventor. And so pretty spot on there for Blue. Whew. This is almost done. And number 1, Blue Dolphin from Live Man, Megumi. God, I love Live Man. And Megumi, she is our first female Blue. She is an inventor. She is a scientist. She's really that heart, and she's really that heart of the team, with how compassionate she is, whether it's with people or being compassionate with, I guess technically one of the villains, because I remember this towards the end of Live Man, where it was where one of the generals where it was the last episode for one of the generals, and she spent some of that time really getting to know them, trying to connect to them through music, because they like to play because this one general from Live Man really roller skated and whatnot. But towards the end of that episode, the general fell, and all she can do is keep him in her memories. And that's the thing about Live Man. They're about living life and embracing the fact that, about saying you have to embrace the fact that you're alive and living. And one of those aspects of embracing and enjoying life is sharing it with others, and sharing it with others through, and that's what Blue Dolphin did, because she truly was the heart of the team. Oh, not to mention, this is just a quick fact about her. her weapon is a bow and arrow because she is actually an archer. Fun fact. But besides that, I do really like Lifeman, but with that alone, I do agree with Blue Dolphin and the fact that she is number 1 on this list. And either way, it is my opinion. And that is the video. How did you guys like my list for the top 10 Blue Rangers? I will do other colors soon. Again, right now, I have a lot of other stuff to do at the moment. KamenRider ZO reviews will hopefully be back out next week. And as always, thank you for watching. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and tell your friends about KamenRider Blackman. And I will see you guys next time.